But first, though, here at 4, we are tracking wildfires burning across parts of Oregon. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Stephanie Domerat.
And I'm Tim Gordon. The Oregon Department of Forestry says thunderstorms last week triggered an estimated 2,000 lightning strikes statewide, causing a new wave of wildfires. Take a look at this map. All the areas highlighted in red are under red flag warnings. That includes a majority of eastern and southern Oregon.
Let's get to our team coverage this afternoon. Joe Ranieri is tracking the most impacted areas in the state right now. First, let's get to meteorologist Matt Sofino, though, with the latest on the weather conditions for areas under fire watch. Matt.
Hey, Stephanie, thanks so much. We'll start in the Dalles and the wind that's going on out there. The smoke from the watchtower fire or the microwave tower fire, not nearly as prevalent as it has been the last couple of days. But look at the wind, sustained at 25. Gusting to 40 at the Dalles. Now on the fire over at Mosier, the winds won't be that strong, but this is a good indication as to how strong they are. And of course, those strong winds heading up towards the Bighorn fire in Klickitat County too. We'll come back to the winds in just a minute, but right now another hazard has developed in Oregon as far as fire weather goes and weather in general, and that is severe thunderstorms. Look at all the lightning we're getting in Baker County. This storm just cruised across Baker City and North Powder. There's more coming up from the south and west. That's a severe thunderstorm rolling through Ontario, Oregon right now. And while the winds are shifty around thunderstorms, you can see all the lightning that we're getting. We may get some rain out of this, but of course the concern is more fire starts from the additional lightning. We've got 2 severe thunderstorm warnings going on. One for that first storm that just passed through Baker City, and then the other one for the storm moving through Ontario. That one may produce wind gusts of 70 miles an hour and hail the sizes of $50. The storm at Baker City, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts are possible too. So again, severe thunderstorms breaking out in eastern Oregon. Of course, that is very problematic for fire weather concerns. Back to the winds. First over on the microwave tower fire. Strongest in the Dalles, lighter in Hood River, Parkdale, and Friend. We'll zoom in a little bit, check a couple of more wind gauges, and Rowena sustained at 19. So that's a strong wind as well. So they're fighting some pretty strong winds there. Eastern Oregon, the Dalles is strongest, but west winds in Pendleton and Hermiston at 15. That doesn't make it easy to fight fire either. And then the winds in Ontario now, courtesy of that thunderstorm, gusting to 31 miles an hour, sustained actually at 31 miles an hour. So the red flag warnings continue from Klamath County up through Wallowa County. You see everywhere highlighted in red. It's nearly half the state, at least a good third of it. The wind forecast for the Dalles, look at these gusts staying up over 25 miles an hour into the evening hours and staying strong well after sunset, which is a little bit unusual, but it's an indication as to the pattern that we're in. So tonight, strong thunderstorms in eastern Oregon, frequent lightning, the wind gusts, strong winds tonight and Thursday for the Columbia Basin, gusts of 35, 40 miles an hour, guys.
Well, a lot of problematic conditions out there, Matt. Thanks a lot. Well, across Oregon and Washington, we are closing in on 1 million acres that have burned in wildfires, and conditions aren't expected to change over the next several weeks. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has more from downtown Portland. Joe, where are crews most concerned?
Well, Timothy, they're actually concerned across the state and, of course, across the Pacific Northwest, but specifically over in eastern Oregon, where Matt was just telling you about, severe weather is rolling through as we speak. We're talking thunderstorms, high winds, and high heat as well, and that's where they're keeping their focus on right now. The 2024 wildfire season has really picked up the last couple of weeks.
Throughout the state, we have crews right now on 44 large fires. 10 of those are in the state of Washington, 34 of those are in the state of Oregon.
Carol Connolly with the Northwest Interagency Coordination Center says all of those fires account for just over 900,000 acres.
Right now, we have 22,000 firefighters deployed throughout the nation. So the Northwest almost has half of those right here in Oregon and Washington.
The largest wildfire that's burning in Oregon is the Durkee Fire, burning in eastern Oregon. It has ballooned to nearly 250,000 acres and has closed parts of Interstate 84 multiple times in the last couple of days.
Are you worried that the fire could jump 84 and just, at any point?
It is a possibility, and our crews are working around the clock to keep an eye on those locations.
This time-lapse video shows just how quickly the lightning-caused fire has grown. Vicki Mole with the Oregon Department of Transportation says if you can, avoid the area.
We're encouraging people, if they must travel east-west through Oregon, that they consider, it might be a little bit out of the way, but to consider traveling on US 20.
Some other advice, don't rely on GPS through this area.
try not to use your GPS, stay off of those county roads, those forest roads, because again, we don't know what those conditions are. And if it's on Trip Check that it's closed, it's a good chance that it's going to be closed.
Right now, wildfires this year are already more than we saw all of last year.
Where we're sitting right now, we've more than doubled where we were last year for the entire year of 2023. So we're well ahead of it.
And it's expected to get a lot worse before it gets any better.
I would think that we are going to be under, threat of wildfire, at least heading well into September.
Tim and Stephanie, we're seeing conditions right now that we would normally see with wildfires about typically by later part of August. The other thing that's not really on our side or the side of crews is our temperatures. We're in that time of summer where we're starting to see our peak heat, which lasts basically now through the middle part of August. And looking at long range models, Matt's probably been talking about this as well, we're not going to be seeing any major change with the weather. That includes no cool down and no really rain in sight. Back to you.
So more to come, Joe. Thanks very much.